What's up guys, welcome to the channel, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to do a bit of a market update, but instead of just looking at the past week on several assets, we're going to look at the bigger picture, the global picture. Where are we right now? Are we in a bull run? Are we in a bear run? Have you seen the bottom? Have you seen the top, all-time highs? When, where? That's everything we're going to discuss in today's video. Like and subscribe, we really appreciate that, because I think for many people, surely beginners, this video will really clear things up. I will make sure you have some more knowledge and clarity of what the market is doing right now. As you see right now on the screen, I have Bitcoin, so let's just start with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, of course, is no rocket science. You don't have to be Einstein for this. Bitcoin made an all-time high earlier this year, not this year, but in September, school year, in September of $126,000, around that. Now, since that all-time high, we have seen a pretty significant dump. I feel like, personally, in my opinion, as a trader now most of the time, a 50% dump, of course, it's a lot. Bitcoin is an asset, surely the past years, but we'll talk about that later in the video, that it's not just a crypto coin anymore, it's something bigger than that. But later in the video, a 50% dump is big. But even though maybe the media tried to frame it like it was big, because it was big, but I personally didn't feel that it was crazy or big. And first of all, of course, that's because we're still at $70,000, $80,000. And I'm not someone who started looking at Bitcoin when they were here. I was looking here in the bear run. So when coming from $15,000, if you're at $70,000, $80,000, that doesn't feel low, of course. So for me personally, it didn't feel like we dropped crazy. Of course, we still did 50%, that's not nothing. But now we're kind of recovering. So many people are asking, bear market is over, this was the dump, let's go, we're aiming for new highs. Oh no, we're still in the bull run, this was just a pullback in a bull run, that happens every time. We see it here as well, just a pullback. You have people saying, oh, the market shifted, stop bull run, bear run, 4-year cycle, that doesn't work anymore. You have ETFs, you have governments investing in Bitcoin, it's not like that small anymore. So I'll go over with my take, and then some facts or charts to back that, and also just express my opinion. Just keep in mind, I'm not Satoshi Nakamoto, I'm not some high-level financial education and economic expert. This is just my view on the market. So last thing about this quickly is that Bitcoin made a new all-time high, and Bitcoin on the global picture is still in an uptrend. Nothing to worry about, really nothing to worry about. If you have money into Bitcoin and you're worrying, or you're kind of scared, you're checking the price every day, you're either not made for investing, or you have too much money, you're too exposed. Now, my opinion is that we're not in a bull run anymore. We're not in a bear run. It's just not like that anymore. And I'm going to back that with some facts. Let me first go to the Bitcoin dominance chart. Of course, these lines, I drew them like, you see way back. These can go, these still have some relevance. Now, if we zoom out, we see that in 2021, we saw a sharp dump. So Bitcoin dominance, maybe first of all, sorry, to people that don't understand what Bitcoin dominance is, this basically shows how much of all of crypto, the market cap of crypto, how much of that money is into Bitcoin. And at the moment, it's almost 61%. So in 2021, if we compare that for those who have trouble with that, we saw, of course, Bitcoin, the first big pump, we made it. And then if you look to dominance chart, we saw that Bitcoin, of course, saw a pump, but then also a dump, because a lot of altcoins, like back in the day, Cardano, Shiba, a lot of altcoins made the moves, so the Bitcoin dominance chart dropped. But since then, since here, of course, it was way up, because Bitcoin was the first and only cryptocurrency back in the day. Since this dump, we started accumulating, and since then, so not even since the start of this year, but since that dump in Bitcoin dominance from 2021, 2022, we have not seen sharp pumps and dumps anymore. So what does that mean? In my opinion, that tells two things. First of all, and a bit less relevant to this video, that altcoin season doesn't exist anymore. And that's because there are way too many altcoins. You have thousands, 10,000s, 100,000 of coins being created every second. It just doesn't work like that. There's not infinite money in the world in crypto. And second of all, big institutions, governments, whatever you want to call it, all those big players have entered Bitcoin, have entered crypto more specifically, and they're not looking at altcoins. Maybe XRP, maybe Solana, they're useful, but they don't give a single fuck about all the other coins. Not even coins that are in the top 20 market cap wise, they don't give a fuck. They just want to keep their money safe, they want to generate profits, they want to have their customers like ETFs or BlackRock, they want to serve their customers and take a cut, of course. So they don't give a shit about the whole of crypto. They just care about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and maybe some more altcoins. So that's also a reason why altcoin season doesn't exist anymore, in my opinion. Otherwise, we would have seen it already last year or this year. Apart from that, Bitcoin dominance, you see, it's going up. Whether that's positive or not, that's an other story. The impact on Ethereum, let's not talk about that in this video. But we clearly see, and that is maybe my main argument here, that the market isn't like moving like this and that anymore. And that's because, and I'm going to mention it a lot in this video, sorry, there's more money and more smart money in this markets. It's not like you and me in the basement or whatever, John bought a pizza with 12,000 Bitcoin. It's not something like that anymore. It's way bigger. Bitcoin's market cap is 1.6 trillion. It hit more than 2 trillion probably at the all-time high. It may sound like, oh, trillion, yeah, okay, but it's insane. Now, so my main argument with the dominance chart is we don't see big moves on the dominance anymore. It's because Bitcoin is not going to drop or pump 80% anymore because it's a way more stable coin. Not a stable coin, but more a stable coin because there's so much money in it. Now here's the second chart. This is Ethereum against Bitcoin. So if this chart goes up, that means Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin. If this chart goes down, it means Bitcoin is outperforming Ethereum. And you see for the majority of this time, saw a pullback here in 2025 to 2026, but the majority of the time Bitcoin has been outperforming Ethereum. Again, like with Bitcoin dominance, so why is this relevant? About what does it tell about Ethereum, Bitcoin, like what it means to each other? It's not for this video, but what I take away from this chart is normally we see Bitcoin and Ethereum move alike. In bull runs, they both pump. Ethereum percentage-wise can even outperform Bitcoin because Bitcoin surely these days is not going to pump that much because it requires more capital. But apart from this pump, which is a big pump, if you ask me, 120%, that Ethereum did better than Bitcoin, we see Ethereum just going down. And it would have been way more logical if we still have bull run, bear run, that it just moves kind of alike. Of course not on the percentage on the dot, but we all know that Bitcoin is the leading coin and Ethereum follows. So why wouldn't that be the case in bull run and bear run? So that's my main argument here. We see since 2022, I mean, it was ranging here. Of course, you see peaks and lows, but that's just okay. That's how price does it. Sometimes Bitcoin outperforms Ethereum and vice versa. But since then, we've been in a downtrend. This is still ranging. I would call it ranging until here. Yeah, here maybe, because we have this wick. And then we make new lows here. And it's not really, it's either pumping or dumping, which means or money is flowing into Bitcoin or money is flowing into Ethereum. If it's from Bitcoin to Ethereum or not, that's not relevant here. But you see that it's not like all crypto is going up, all crypto is going down. And it also connects with my altcoin season argument. It's not like crypto up, crypto down, like the classic bull run bear run cycle. The last different chart I want to talk about is the crypto total market cap. And I'm going to compare this market cap, so all cryptocurrencies that exist, market cap is this chart, to total 3. Total 3 is the market cap of the entire crypto market without Bitcoin and without Ethereum. Total 2, as you see, is just the same, but with Ethereum only, Bitcoin excluded. What do we see? This is kind of the price graph of Bitcoin. As you see, of course, it's slightly different, but that's just normal because Bitcoin is a leading cryptocurrency. What do you see? The past bull run or the new all-time highs, we clearly saw new highs because that's the main logical and principal things. You have a bull run, bear run, but after that bear run, we see a stronger bull run, more highs. And we clearly did that because if you see this chart and you would say this is all of crypto, this represents every single cryptocurrency perfectly. You would say we have a bull run, we have a bear run, accumulation, bull run, bear run, somewhere here maybe dropping further, accumulation, next bull run. But if we compare this, so total crypto market cap to total 3, which is excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, maybe this is a bit yeah, let's do that away. You see that they just made a new high. I mean, they wicked it, but of course this is not price, so can't really say it wicked it. They did make new highs, so this bull run 2025, 2026, price did make, like all cryptocurrencies in the world except Bitcoin and Ethereum were worth more than 3 to 4 years ago. But you see, there's no big difference because if I mention, if you would argue that it's a bull run, all crypto go up, then you would surely see this also here in the 1.5 trillion, maybe even to 2 trillion. If we know that last bull run for altcoins was crazy. So my main takeaway here, and it's yeah, of course it's still my opinion, but it's also facts. You can see that Bitcoin and Ethereum are doing well, and altcoins are not doing that well. And you might say, okay, that's a relevant point, but what does that have to do with Bitcoin and Ethereum moving in cycles? Bitcoin has a halving, some shitty altcoins don't have the cycle, and that I completely agree with that. Bitcoin will always have that cycle with the halving. If you're not familiar with the halving, go check another video on that. That's a whole separate thing once again. But it will always have that cycle, but it won't have that much influence anymore, in my opinion. Why? I just gave a couple of charts and explained why. And I have one more thing to show you. So this here is a picture or overview of the Bitcoin distribution. Of course there are 21 million tokens, coins, however you want to call it. And let's just have a look here. So 17.6% of all Bitcoin has been lost are on dead wallets they can't access anymore, that have been inactive. Yeah, people don't have the keys to their wallet anymore, or had it on a hard drive and threw it away, stuff like that. So that's almost 20%. That's a lot, by the way. And then you see all those percentages. Of course 6.5% around now still hasn't been mined, but apart from that, you see companies have almost 4, ETFs around the world 4%, governments almost 3. Satoshi of course has 5%. I think it might even be a little bit more, but this has been done, yeah, this has been good research, so I'm not going to doubt it. It's from Binance as well. And then you have miners, but maybe you can put that in the videos category as well. So 60% of the Bitcoin is in the hands of individuals like you and me. So people who are just normal people who hold it to trade or invest, but don't have tens of thousands of Bitcoin. You get what I mean? Now the expectations are from several sources, from literally everything around the world, and it's even a little bit common sense, but of course you can't use common sense or what you feel in a good argument, but that this percentage is only going to drop. And it's not necessarily because people will be selling, or they think, oh, Bitcoin is all-time highs, we're going to sell. But everything that will be mined, 99% will go to ETFs and companies. ETFs are gaining popularity. Governments, you see, of course, I think personally Trump is using his pro-crypto slogans just to get votes, but he's also pro-Bitcoin on paper, pro-crypto. And USA and almost every government in the world is secretly, of course, I'm not some type of conspiracy theorist, but they are buying Bitcoin. Just, it's not in the main headlines. They're buying crypto, mainly Bitcoin, and I also think Ethereum some governments have. So these percentages will only get bigger. What does that mean? Less percentage available to trade for volume, for big moves. And these companies, of course a company can sell their Bitcoin, even governments can. We saw Germany sell, almost all of their Bitcoin, I think 2 years ago. It's possible, and then you'll see price react. But the more we see percentage here in distribution and the less here, we will just see less volatility. And in the long run, you can argue that's good or bad. In the long run, it will always be good because Bitcoin will be a safer investment. But that also means that we won't have bull run, bear run, because it will be less influenced by hype, by just people unite, oh, we have to take profits, we have to sell. It will be more influenced by governments who just keep it like gold maybe in the future. Of course, there's speculation, but like gold in the reserve, we're not touching it. Or ETFs, of course, inflow, outflow, all different story. Or companies who just have it as a reserve. So less Bitcoin to trade, or volume or liquidity on the market, means less sharp dumps and pumps, and less influence of the people to actually keep the bull run and bear run intact. Because the bull run and bear run is not just coded into Bitcoin, or just one person pulling the handle, bull run, bear run. It's still influenced by people believing, buying, and then they see the halving is near, or all-time high has been reached, this stats, this indicator, and then they sell. It's still influenced by the people who own Bitcoin, of course. So to come to a conclusion, again, I'm not some economist, this is still my opinion, but I'm pretty convinced of my opinion. I will of course see in the coming months and years if I turn out to be right or not. But I think there's no bull run, there's no bear run. I think this was the last real bull run we'll see. Of course, Bitcoin can still now or in a years show a crazy run up. I'm not saying that we'll just do this forever. I'm not saying that, of course. But I don't think we'll see, oh, now we dump. Oh, it's 2028, the halving is there. I don't exactly know when the halving is, so don't catch me there. But and then we see, oh, pump for 2 years, 4 years, and then yeah, it's good. Let's just dump again. I don't think it will happen like that. It will also depend on what happens in the world. I think if you watch the weekly market update videos, I always mention that gold is more tied to geopolitical news because it's of course, yeah, a bigger asset, and gold is more associated with wars, with inflation, etc. But Bitcoin will be that soon, and you see that now with the recent war in Iran, of course, that Bitcoin is also, and crypto in general, is also reacting to that strongly, like gold does, or oil does. So a summary of that, Bitcoin, the market cap is growing. There's more and more money into Bitcoin, more and more smart money, less retail. Retail means you and I. So I do think the cycle is gone. Now, am I saying the bottom is in? Am I saying the top is in? No, I'm not saying both. I actually don't know. I could see Bitcoin doing this. I could see Bitcoin doing this. More about that in the weekly market updates video, where we go into that deeper. So make sure to check that every Sunday on the channel. So yeah, conclusion, not to keep repeating myself, I don't think the cycles exist anymore. Surely the halving will have some impact, of course, because it's still something massive and something why people have one of the reasons why people buy Bitcoin and believe in the project. But I don't think bull run bear run is the one specific thing that will always exist, and not something you can rely on as an investor. You say, oh, the cycle is over, bear run, let's just invest, it's free money, it's bull run, guys, let's just invest all of our money. It's not something you can rely on anymore. For now, that was it. It was a lot. Maybe my explanation wasn't the best. I'm still, of course, learning. It was a lot of technical stuff in this video, so please forgive me. I hope you're a bit wiser now and know a bit more and feel maybe a bit more safe, or actually think now, maybe I need to have a plan for the future. But let me know in the comments what you liked about this video. If you have some takeaways or some counter opinions, always welcome, always open to discuss. And I'll see you guys in the next video, Sunday in the market update. Bye.